Like Deshaun Jackson unwittingly fumbling the ball before crossing the goal line, sometimes we take our foot off the gas a little too early. I don't know if there's a gas pedal on a tank to take your foot off of or a joystick, but if you start tanking, aka losing on purpose, always remember, you must go all the way. To tank and change thy mind is far more painful to never have tanked at all. I believe it was Shakespeare who said that. These next 4 teams made the mistake of winning at the wrong time, and in doing so, ruining a clear path to claiming the first overall pick in the draft. NFL teams that ruin their tanks by winning is coming up right after this. Back in the late 1960s, everyone wanted O.J. Simpson. Not in the way he was wanted in 1994, but at that point he hadn't offed his ex-wife and a waiter who happened to be in the wrong place at the way wrong time, or stolen any memorabilia, or worst of all, said,
"Hey to the world, is me, yours truly."
Back then, O.J. was the Heisman-winning tailback out of Southern Cal, and the obvious #1 pick in the 1969 NFL Draft. Nice. The Philadelphia Eagles were ready for a glass of the juice, but so were their eastern neighbors, the Buffalo Bills. Right out of the gate, the Bills got off to a tanky start, going 1-5-1 in their first half of the season. But the Eagles had them thoroughly outgunned and wisely began the season with 11 straight losses. It seemed they were destined to win the O.J. sweepstakes, and there were even talks that Vince Lombardi would join the team to coach. With 2 Hall of Famers possibly to become Eagles, the future looked bright if they could just keep losing, but they didn't. The Bills learned their lesson and started sucking accordingly, while the Eagles inexplicably won 2 straight games in weeks 12 and 13. The Birds corrected themselves and lost the season finale, but by then, it was too late. The glass of juice was half empty, and the Bills were drinking it up. O.J. went to Buffalo, and Lombardi picked Washington. The Eagles spent their first-round pick on a different running back, Leroy Keys, a guy who was second in Heisman voting to Simpson in 1968. Keys was not second in MVP voting when O.J. Simpson won the award in 1973, thanks to his first ever 2,000-yard season, slicing up the league. Leroy Keys had switched from running back to safety by that point and moved on from Philly to Kansas City. He was no O.J. Simpson, but hell, he also never killed anyone. Call it a wash. It's hard to imagine the Green Bay Packers without a franchise quarterback at the helm. Since 1992, they've been led by a Hall of Famer, Brett Favre, until 2008, followed by Aaron Rodgers, who will be quarterbacking the Packers out of spite until 2050. But 5 years before Brett Favre would become a cheesehead, the Packers drafted a guy named Brent Fullwood, a running back out of Auburn whose last name inspired Favre's future camera role. The guy they truly coveted was taken 4 picks earlier, a can't-miss QB by the name of Vinny Testaverde, who, by the way, actually had a longer NFL career than Favre. Green Bay might have had a shot to land my cousin Vinny had they just committed to sucking like they had early in the 1986 season. Led by head coach Forrest Gregg and quarterbacked by the wrong guy in Randy Wright, the Packers raced out to a 2-10 start while their potential savior was blowing away the competition as a Miami Hurricane. The other team vying for Vinny's services, the Buccaneers, who also at 2-10 had gifted the Packers their measly second win of the season in Week 11. The stage was set on Thanksgiving Day 1986 as the Packers squared off against the Detroit Lions. The game was dubbed the Vinny Testaverde Bowl, as everyone on Earth knew it would help the Pack to lose on this glorious Turkey Day. And initially, they did not disappoint. In something that sounds like it comes from a Rod Serling TV show, the Lions jumped out to a 37-23 third-quarter lead. Then the Packers did the inexplicable. They started trying. A TD from Randy White, an Eddie Murray field goal, another TD, and then down 3. An electric Walter Stanley 83-yard punt return that sealed the deal and f***ed up their tank. Instead of Testaverde, the Pack's consolation prize was Fullwood, who switched to fullback and made 1 Pro Bowl in an underwhelming career for a top 5 pick. On the flip side, the #1 overall pick's career with Tampa Bay didn't go quite as expected. Whether it was the result of being a bust or simply just a buck, Vinny threw picks at an alarming rate and had his intelligence questioned. Hall of Famer Gene Upshaw once said on a hot mic that Testaverde was so dumb that he would drag the electric cord through his swimming pool while trimming the hedges. Oh well, he was smart enough for Bill Belichick, and Vinny was the most recent Cleveland quarterback to win a playoff game, which he did in 1994, but that's not true anymore. The Packers tank failed, but no one feels for their quarterback situation anymore, with them getting 2 Hall of Famers without having to tank. I hope the gutless Eagles are taking notes. No, I am not salty. Yes, I am salty. Pop quiz. How many of us are working from home these days? Also, how many of you should be working right now? Look, I'm not here to judge, but I am here to tell you that sitting in front of a screen all day is not good for you. And as someone who does it 24/7, the strain on my eyes has been terrible. It's unavoidable. Blue light causes damage to your eyes. For me, it's headaches, anxiety, and dizziness. Blue blocks were scientifically created to fix these problems. Using evidence-based science and technology, these glasses were made to block the blue light using high-quality lenses. And wearing these, I already see and feel a difference. Blue Blocks makes lenses for daytime, nighttime, indoors, outdoors, and can come in prescription and readers, along with over 40 styles to choose from. So after this video, go to blueblocks.com/5points, use my code 5points at checkout, and get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's BLUBLOX.com/5points, or just click the link below and make sure to use the code 5points and get free shipping worldwide and 20% off your order. Blue Blocks. Ryan Leaf is widely regarded as the greatest bust in NFL history. Peyton Manning, the pick before him, retired as the leader in touchdown passes, yards, and won a pair of Super Bowls. The San Diego Chargers didn't have the luxury of selecting between Leaf and Manning. That was the job of the Indianapolis Colts, who made the correct choice and drafted the clean-cut Tennessee product over the big-arm loose cannon out of Wazoo. The Chargers might have been able to pick Manning over Leaf, one of the great sliding doors moments in NFL history, had they lost one more game. In '97, the Chargers actually got off to a start that led you to believe they might be competitive, winning 3 of their first 7 games. But that was fool's gold. In Week 9, they faced the winless Colts, and while the Colts mounted a comeback late in the game, the Chargers were able to pull away and win the game. Dumbasses. That was the last game the Chargers won that season. Despite starting 4-4, the Chargers fell apart and lost 8 straight to close the season. The Colts actually went 3-3 down the stretch, but they pulled off the perfect tank by finishing the season on a high note while still managing to wrap up the first overall pick. Had the Chargers found a way to lose that Week 9 game to the Colts, it may have changed the entire trajectory of the franchise. Instead of Ryan Leaf losing his head in the locker room, they could have been riding the spacious forehead of the sheriff to a Vince Lombardi trophy or 2. What would it have been like for the all-time touchdown pass leader to play for the Chargers? Oh wait, he did. His name was Drew Brees. But to lose out on Manning and earn Ryan Leaf as a consolation prize, that's chargering. And now for our worst blown tank. We have no idea if Trevor Lawrence will be good or not, at least not at the time of this video's release. What we do know is that he will almost certainly not become a New York Jet, but he very well could have been, if only the Jets had followed their former defensive coordinator's example and followed such surefire tanking methods as calling an all-out blitz cover 0 against a Hail Mary. The 2020 Jets actually entered the season with promise, closing the previous season with a reason for hope and some confidence in third-year quarterback Sam Darnold. And that hope immediately began to circle the drain when the Jets were thoroughly non-competitive for the first month of the season. Even Adam Gase and his googly eyes could see that this team was on a road to nowhere, and apparently so did the team's upper management, who decided the best course of action was not to fire Gase. For one reason alone, he was their best shot to go 0-16 and draft blonde androgynous Jesus. And until week 15, it looked like they had it all wrapped up. Greg Williams helped the team narrowly snatch defeat from the jaws of victory versus Las Vegas, but their losing ways ran out in Los Angeles against the Rams? With the Jags hot on their tail, the Jets tragically found a way to beat the eventual playoff-bound Rams and improved to 1 and 13. The surfer-haired quarterback of their dreams was now being photoshopped into black and teal rather than green and white, and it became apparent that they had been out-tanked by the team that brilliantly benched Gardner Minshew for an actual giraffe. If Trevor Lawrence lives up to his billing, the Jets will forever rue the day they forgot how to lose, which is ironic. The tank was stopped in its tracks 3 weeks too early, and they'll have to settle for the second overall pick in late April. Damn, Jets. Can't even lose right. What did we learn? It's pretty simple. When it comes to tanking, there's no middle ground. You either go full tank or you end up missing out on the #1 overall pick and perhaps nothing to show for a god-awful season. Of course, there is that pesky thing that we call dignity, but nobody remembers what that is. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting and more thoroughly useless information on sports. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.